everyone, welcome back to the Strawberry Lily channel. I am continuing my no buy for the end of the year very strongly. I really want to see how far I can carry this into the new year. Wouldn't it be amazing if I could be one of those people who manages to pull off a no buy for the entire year of 2025? I don't want to say too much because let's not get ahead of ourselves, but for now I'm just gonna keep rolling with the punches. So I feel like I have a different kind of theme with each of the get ready with me videos that I've been uploading so far. Sometimes it's shop my stash, sometimes it is doing a look inspired by a certain movie or piece of media that is out, like the green Wicked eyeshadow look that I did recently. Sometimes it's using all viral products on my face like my last video. So today what I thought we could do is a full face of makeup using only my PANNED makeup products. Now unfortunately, as you may know, I don't hit pan all that often. That is something that I'm actively trying to change by being more conscious about using up what I already have. I think this is like what they're calling it these days, right? It used to be Project Pan, Shop My Stash. Those are kind of older search terms, but I noticed that recently people have been switching to the phrase, let's use up all our makeup, or let's use up the makeup that we have by the end of the year, or just in general. I think this is one trend that I can definitely get on board with. So it's gonna be a short video because honestly, the pickings are slim in terms of products that I've actually hit pan on in my collection, but hopefully I can increase the number in the future if I continue doing this. And also, it's not to say that I don't use up products very often. I use up things all the time. It's just that a lot of them tend to not be a powder or in any type of pan format. Speaking of empties, I actually do have a whole container here of empties. Maybe I'll do my next video on these. But anyway, for today's get ready with me. So first I'm gonna start off with blush actually, because I want to put the blush high up on my cheeks to the point where it overlaps the outer half of my eyes, using this Flower Nose Swan Ballet powder blush in 05 Dreamy Season. So you can see I hit pan right smack in the middle there, but if you look closely, I don't know, it kind of freaks me out because I noticed that there's a bunch of little holes. I'm sure they're air bubbles, but it's kind of not pleasant to look at or think about. I'm sure it must be air bubbles because there's nothing about this blush so far that has indicated any sort of mold or something amiss. I was quite surprised to hit pan on this blush so soon, but once I did, I realized why. It's because the blush, like the pan, is actually quite shallow, or it's more shallow than I expected. So I love this shade because it's kind of just the perfect universal warm pink toned blush that goes with anything. Oh, I forgot to mention there is another pan product that I use every single time I do my makeup, to the point where I don't even notice that it's pan, but my RMK eyebrow compact. Duh. You know, I bought a refill of this like months ago thinking that I was gonna need it soon because this, listen, this compact has looked like this for the past year. I mean, I thought I would have been done with this medium and dark toned brown shade months and months ago, but it's crazy because every time that I check, it seems like it has not changed at all since the last time. You know what, honestly, the pans in this compact are pretty deep, so that could also be a contributing factor. But yeah, RMK eyebrow powder still going strong, guys. So now let's move on to eyes. Does anybody remember this? The ColourPop Secret Admirer palette. This was their Valentine's Day palette from I don't even know how many years ago now. It is still honestly one of my favorite palettes. I almost wish that they would bring it back. Like, I wouldn't mind if they brought this back for Valentine's Day 2025 because I feel like this is just such a versatile, warm-toned, universally flattering palette. Even for people who are wary about wearing pink or colors that are too bright, these colors can give you like the perfect natural looking pink flushed look. Okay, so this one is a little bit of a cheat because as you can see, the shade, the shimmer shade here in the Mood, like damn, she in her mood. It actually mostly fell out due to me dropping the palette one too many times. So this is not an organic pan, but I didn't say that I was only going to use organically panned items in this video, did I? I just said panned, so it fits the criteria. But I'm not actually going to use this color. I'm going to use these two for my base shades. I have no idea what the F is going on right now, but all of my cameras have been like randomly corrupting certain footage. So I lost the footage of me applying the top two matte shadows that I mentioned, which is fine because that was not particularly important footage anyways, but is it Mercury retrograde or something? Like, what gives? The Plumpuku Coordinate Eyes palette by Canmake in 04 Strawberry Plumpuku. This palette is designed specifically specifically to help you achieve the tear bag look or the aegosal look that is popular in Asia. Unfortunately, the strawberry one is no longer available because it was limited edition, but yeah, as you can see, this one is very, very well loved by me. There's practically nothing left in the topper glitter shade. Let's go ahead and dip into this tiny brown shadow down here, and I'm gonna use that to create the lines, the shadow lines for my tear bag effect. Actually, I'm gonna go get an even thinner brush. Now, if you're new to Project Pan, or you're the type of person that really just, you get enjoyment out of seeing progress being made on your makeup items like I do, I would say definitely go for one of these Plumpuku Coordinate Eyes palettes because the pans are literally so tiny. I always say that this reminds me of a Polly Pocket toy from back in the 90s.
Polly Pocket has a stage where she dances ballet. Surprise, it's a bear! Polly Pocket.
And yeah, it's so tiny that it's really like an easy win when it comes to panning. So you'll be able to, you know, get that dopamine hit of hitting pan a lot quicker than maybe some other fuller sized items. Alright, so now I'm gonna highlight the plump part of the tear bag with the lightest pink shade. I still have to use my own brushes, like I cannot deal with this little applicator that they give. Personally, I need a lot more precision. Then I'm gonna use this one on the center of my lids. It has kind of like a rose gold sheen to it. I am running out of brushes. That is actually very shiny and pretty. I was almost afraid it wouldn't show up that well against the ColourPop shadows, but it's actually very shiny. Like very subtle, pearlescent effect, but definitely noticeable. I might have to do this combo more often. Okay, and I feel like the topper glitter is pretty much almost all done. Although, I would say it still has a fair 5 uses left. The more I do this series, the more I discover and am reminded just how long a ways a little bit of makeup can go. So you see the product that's left, it's pretty much all just clinging around the perimeter of that pan. But when I actually go in to pick up the product though, I realize that, oh yeah, this is actually all I really need in any one singular eyeshadow application. Okay, I have one final eyeshadow that might not necessarily match the rest of this look, but I couldn't do this video without featuring it because it's just so out of left field. This is one of the Oden's Eye Multi-Chromes, in the shade is M004 Angela. Don't ask me how I managed to pan this, it's a mystery to me as well. Well, if you were there for this whole launch, you will remember what a hot mess it was and how inconsistent the formulas were from shade to shade. So this was one of those shades that was just super soft, and it was only upon the 3rd or 4th application that I managed to pan it. I think that had more to do with the fact that, again, the formula is just super soft and it moves around really easily. It's not necessarily because I just used that much product, but nevertheless, okay, it deserves a feature in this video. So we're gonna go ahead and pick some up for the inner corner. That is really, really pretty actually. I think that matches better than I thought. I forgot that it was a multi-chrome, so you know, mostly if I'm looking head on at the camera, it will show like the rosy colored reflex, which matches the rest of my eye look. But then if I turn to the side, you can kind of see the cool lilac base underneath, which happens to match my shirt today, so I feel like it's all gonna work out in the end. Yeah. You know what? I wasn't gonna use this one because I'm not the biggest fan of the formula, but the Cezanne single shiny eyeshadow in 02 Sakura Prism. This is another one of those instances where I hit pan in like 2 to 3 uses because the formula is just so malleable. This eyeshadow looks really pretty when you swatch it. It's like boom, blinding, right? Foiled, beautiful foiled effect, but I'm not a big fan of it because it tends to flake off really easily. See, this is what I say. This is what I say all the time about so many Japanese eyeshadows. That's actually pretty cute. And you see, just by me using it this one time, the pan doubled in size almost. It's so funny how different each product, each formula is when you really think about it. So finally, for lipstick, we have another flower nose item. This is from the Little Angels collection. It is their matte lipstick in C04 Cupid. While it is nowhere near being panned or done, it is the shortest lipstick that I currently own. So So if you look, the white disc that the lipstick actually is held in is right here. But as we all know, this little bit of lipstick is probably gonna last for like at least 2 more months. So yeah, this is another just universally flattering, matches anything pink color. It's supposed to be matte, but I feel like I had some chapstick on before this, so I feel like it's mixing with that and giving off a shinier finish than usual. Alright, so this is the final look. I feel like it is pretty par for the course for what you would expect, or what I usually gravitate towards, which is basically pink and sparkles. So it makes a lot of sense that these happen to be the items that I have panned at the moment. I'm sorry, but I'm looking at myself in the viewfinder and I'm getting distracted because I feel like one of Dolores Umbridge's cadets, or what is it called? I don't remember what the group was for. It was either like a dance or singing group, and their outfits were, well, they had blue outfits, but this is very much giving the same vibe, I feel. I was originally saving this top for like a Trixie Tang all violet makeup look in the future, which I might still do, but yeah, I don't know, I just had the urge to throw it on today, and I feel like I am one of the Umbridges, the Umbri. But no, get into this beautiful multi-chrome situation around my eyes that the camera is not doing justice. I am so happy that I dug through my collection looking for items to use for this get ready with me, and I remembered that this shadow existed. Like, now for the record, I was not the biggest fan of this multi-chrome slash shimmer singles collection when it first came out from Oden's side, just because I feel they were way too overpriced. But since I have them, you know, I might as well use them up, and I have to say, this is very, very pretty as an inner corner highlight. I'm a happy camper. So thank you so much for watching. Drop me a message or a comment down below about anything really. I just love hearing from you guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye!